right, it's 5 o'clock and a quorum is present, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. First item of business is approval of this August 28th, 2023 board meeting. Oh, agenda. Sorry, I always do that. I always think we're on minutes. So of today's agenda. Have a motion to approve today's agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, the agenda is addressed. Next item on the agenda is public discussion. I don't think we have a member of the public who wants to address us. We do have a member of the public, welcome. And that brings us to item 4, items to be discussed. And the first one is the budget. This is just regularly scheduled opportunity to take a look at the budget. And I think everybody knows Ellsworth is out. Ann is sitting in, so thank you, Ann.
Right, so it's budget season, which means we are in the process of preparing the library's FY25 budget for submission to the city. So this week, the city's financial staff held a budget kickoff meeting, which really just provides a basic timeline of the budgeting process. And they really go into detail on how to submit into Munis, which is the financial system. But they did say that this year, or next year's budget is going to look very similar to this year's budget.
Ooh.
So, ish, yeah.
Yes.
And they expect their allocations then to be similar.
Yeah, but as far as we know, things could change. There's some pressures on the city's budget. So we're continuing to monitor their budget forecasts. And that we know that there is a lot of pressure on them with inflation and then the changes to property tax reform. And so we don't have a lot to say right now, but that's what they're saying is similar.
Reading further on, reading the statement from the city made it seem far more dire, like immediately.
We'll see. Yeah, I think long term, well, there's gonna be some things.
Yeah.
So right now we're developing our funding needs for next fiscal year. We'll have a budget for you next board meeting in October. And then that's when we submit them to the city. November, we meet with the city manager's office and the finance team and go over our budget requests, and then we kind of see what's palatable to them and what's not. And then in January, Ellsworth will present the budget to city council.
So one year we relate our discussions with the county. And I'm wondering, do we have a similar calendar
For the county.
for that, just to make sure we're adhering to their timelines? It seemed in the past when we went before the county, usually I got notified to know.
Okay.
And to it as the.
Okay.
Anything else on the budget?
So included in the packet is these, the FY23 at a glance. So you see the quarterly reports, you see the disbursements each month. This is kind of the at a glance after the end of the year thing. Shows what funds came in and what went out.
All right. Move on to the policy review. Policy 808 is the art advisory committee. This is one of this month's regularly scheduled policy reviews. The committee that looked at it did not see a lot that needed changing. Any comments or questions from board members?
Care strongly about capitalization.
I do.
And
I was just more curious about it, like, I think it's 6 members, library staff, the 6 members of the committee appointed by the library board. Just, I don't believe policy changes. I was just more curious about the committee.
yeah, the committee's community members,
Community members.
sought out by one library staff member, which is campus. So she's in charge of searching the county for representatives that would be good. Often they're obviously from Or, well, there can be varied from the university level, it could be high school, art teachers, gallery owners, and like framing folks. Artists themselves too, insert. That would be. And then canvases are not, but she just provides the charcuterie.
And it's excellent. I've seen.
Yeah.
But
Did
you
not.
can't join the committee just for.
Well, no one would ever say it was just for the charcuterie.
All of them about art, so.
That's right.
It's so delicious. And then she nominates them formally to the board. We haven't had one for a little while yet, but that would be during our regular board meeting.
As I remember, it's just a nomination. It's not choose. It's, yeah, Yeah.
He's lucky to find.
someone who will serve.
Their 3-year terms as you all.
Yeah,
No, it's,
yeah,
they only meet once a year. So.
right. Any objections to moving on to 4C, the discussion rooms?
To vote on, or no,
Oh.
we vote on this.
Yeah, we do. I'm sorry. Can I have a motion to approve the revised art advisory committee policy?
So moved.
Give a second,
Wait a second.
right?
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Now, I'll move on to the discussion rooms policy. Again. Big changes,
That changing the title. feels
nomenclature.
dramatic, But.
Yeah, yeah,
It's one of those cases. Second, I pointed it out at the meeting, I left it and. My dream had always been to merge these two, the terminology and. It just suggested, what if we just change the title? We could do that.
yeah, even the title is open for revision.
So it was the last holdout that wasn't mentioned this language and study. And discussion obviously still happened.
Right. Right,
But. Efficient.
Full disclosure, I did add charcuterie and you did remove that part.
Most importantly, it's what the public calls it when they come and ask us for it, so
Yeah.
it's better to match their.
Might as well have common nomenclature.
Yeah.
And the bigger issue was trying to address things like the many of the same board members here had the last time we reviewed 3 years ago. The identification requirements, so we just felt like we should tackle that. Since it was a concern last time and we still haven't completely removed this idea, but we sort of amended to still have that contact information so that we could follow up the.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned in the brief, it's pretty rare that we ever need to do such things, but.
Yeah. Questions or comments from board members? Then I'll entertain a motion to approve the policy on study rooms, policy 810,
Make a motion to approve.
and the second.
Second.
Oh,
Either way.
it's a race for second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. And that brings us along to the staff reports. So, Anne, would you like to?
I have a few things to add to Ellsworth's director's report. So he's doing really well. He should be back in a few weeks. We're looking forward to having him return. We are having a board of trustees recognition. We have a invitation at your seat. That's gonna be on Tuesday, October 24th at 5:30 in the event space at the East Side Recycling Center on Scott Boulevard. We will also have wonderful food there. And next month, we will try to take an updated board photograph. So
Just love that.
Right.
Board photo.
Yeah.
it needs an update.
Soon to be.
We can have a maskless one.
And then the other thing, we're currently in conversation with legal about adding ADA requirements within some of our policies. So there's a few policies we might bring up at the next meeting. I can't say that definitively yet, but we're just giving you a heads up that the agenda might change and we'll let you know, Tom, if
Okay.
that's the case.
Okay.
What brought that up?
We just a couple of things that weren't quite right, but
Okay.
yeah.
Any questions?
I want to ask about the threatening messages.
Yeah,
Or
please.
Do we have any follow-up on that? Are they investigating the source or we just closed it at this point?
I'm not sure, we haven't received an update from the police, but the last time we talked to them, whoever did it used some protocols that are really hard to kind of walk back.
So are we assuming this is part of the national attacks that have been happening with the threats on libraries?
Maybe, we're really
We just
unsure.
don't know.
We
Okay.
just don't know.
So they don't know if this was like a local source or somewhere else.
Right, I mean, he disclosed in a chat that he was out of state, but.
Probably not the most honest.
Right, exactly. You don't know what to believe.
And if your reference chat is open again, is that, okay?
May I answer any other
Yeah,
questions?
anything else for you?
I'm amazed at how much press, I mean, if some of your programs get as much press.
Right.
I know.
One, like one rough day at the
Mhm.
library, like,
Yeah,
it's just frustrating.
yeah,
I mean, I guess that shows a level of concern for you maybe, but. You know, only you could get that much for
Yeah.
summer reading or something.
yeah.
We're open today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we can move on to the Adult Services, Community and Access Services Report. Is there anything to add?
We've had 3 interviews this week for the open to intern position.
Oh, great,
So,
okay.
Fingers crossed. Seems to be close, fully open again.
That's a relief.
I think we're finding the closure was in response to a few incidents, and then either the closure worked and the couple crews of people just decided not to be here anymore, or you never know. Sometimes folks are just nomadic and they're returning to their we haven't really necessarily needed, but it's still been nice to make sure that everybody who is a more of a regular young person has some oversight.
Right.
Even though they're friends and they know one another pretty well, sometimes they cross lines with each other, and it's nice to be able to have them in the same spaces where you are, so you can address things.
That's a great piece of what the center offers is someone there. Anything else you want to talk about?
I would love to report that Yvonne, who developed our beautiful fall window as the graphics intern, and our beautiful summer window as a graphics intern, is now our graphic distribution.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she will be hiring a replacement soon, and maybe for the first time in 3.5 years, we'll have a full bench, but if not, we'll fix it out.
And if you do, it is in the nature of all things to change. Yeah. How much time is the graphic designer?
25 hours a week.
25 hours a week. Okay.
That's supporting the library's robust programs, the development office when they ask us if we can be friends and play together. And also partnerships that we have with this.
I was particularly excited about your branding page, having borrowed some logos from you before. I'm excited for that. I think that's a great idea because you guys are the hub for partnerships. And what a great way to have some consistency across your varied partners throughout the city and programs and everything. That'll be a great thing. I'm excited for me personally, but also just kind of for a big picture. I was thrilled about that.
Any other comments? Questions?
Well, yeah, if you want, and they want, they could probably go downstairs before they leave if they want the up close and personal picture with the book bike.
Oh,
it's
the book
just gonna
bike,
be
yeah.
while we're gonna go, so just right at home.
I'm putting it in the parade, so.
It weighs 365 pounds.
What's that?
It weighs 365 pounds.
Was that okay?
It's an e-bike, yeah.
Yeah,
It turns pretty easy. I did some figure eights in City Hall's lobby, and I had permission, so.
But it's now in our staff area. so
Okay.
If you do want to see it before you go, we can take you to the back.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Feel like Gollum now, like I was reading the secret.
We can let you guys in on the secret.
no boy. Anything else before we move on to the development report? Katie, anything you want to point out or add to the development report?
Well, I was just sent the final version of our website for the foundation. It is not live yet to the public. It's possible that it'll be live as soon as the end of the day tomorrow. Our URL is going to be supporticpl.org. And I wrote over 25 pages of content for the website. And I have my fingers crossed that each of you will find a mistake and let me know what can be fixed. We've gone through multiple edits. We feel pretty good about it, but of course you don't always catch everything. But this is a really full service website that is providing people with all kinds of information at their fingertips about how to support the library. I'm really doing a lot to direct people back to the library website to understand the services and programs and facilities that the library has to offer. And I'm getting it in right under the wire of being here for a year, so I'm pretty happy about that. Excited to show it off to everybody.
Any questions for Katie? Comments for Katie? Okay. That brings us to the president's report, which is brief. I may recall we were invited to participate in intercultural development inventory experience. I don't know if anyone else did. I did, and I'll report that I found it useful. It was illuminating, and I had as part of it, a half hour with the consultant, and she was very good. I've worked with a lot of consultants. She was very good. So it was a good experience. I know the whole staff did it right, and she worked with you as a group or something. Yeah.
Coordinators did it, yeah.
Yeah. So I found that interesting. I think that is the extent of the president's report today. Are there any announcements from members?
We used them all up last month.
Yeah. We did have a bunch. And the foundation board meet, and if so, are the representatives here? I think not. Yeah, DJ and John. Okay. So I think that means we have no committee reports, right? The communications were included in your packet. And the consent agenda includes the minutes from our last regular meeting, our last special meeting, and the approval of the disbursements for August. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda. And a second. Rodney Claire. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The items for the next agenda are again shown in the packet. We've got budget, first quarter financials and statistics, pre-materials distribution, and yeah, and then a reminder that the homecoming parade will be on the 6th of October. And, you never want to miss the library in the homecoming parade. So yeah,
We'll have the
that's
bike.
always fun. Bike will be there. Okay.
Bill and the drill cart team, we're happy, great this year, guys.
Wow.
And you're welcome to work with us.
Oh.
And we have some extra luck. Iowa City Public Library is what it's not very high visibility, but very, it's my new favorite sweatshirt to sleep in. Very soft and nice. Yeah, you're welcome to join us.
Thank
There will be food,
There's pizza.
pizza.
I can put
It's
some
not-
little bites, so it looks like charcuterie.
Okay, so the dinner and the board meeting are the same week. Okay.
Yeah.
Checking.
Yeah. Okay, and just a reminder that if you have a chance to look ahead to the policies we'll be discussing in December, and you have any thoughts to share with the library leadership, and they can get incorporated in the committee's discussion. Our business completed. I think we'll declare the meeting adjourned.